morning, Crookshanks. Good morning. Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. So I am here with Brian and Crookshanks this morning. They are two outdoor barn cats that we basically rescued from a not so good situation. They are doing fantastic. They are eating. They are letting us pet them. They are purring. They are so sweet. Still a little kind of uncomfortable with the situation, but that's to be expected. So we're keeping them to acclimate outdoor cats to a new spot. You want to keep them kind of confined for about 4 weeks and feed them, and you only want to feed them when you're present. So I bring food out and then I sit out here for about 10 to 15 minutes, let them eat, and then I take the food away. And that just gets them used to me, and my daughters have been doing it too, although I don't think it's going to be an issue because these boys love. It's really sweet. I think they're going to be really great cats. So they are eating right now, and so I'll sit with them for a little bit. And then when I'm done here, it is maintenance day today, which I am ready for. It needs to happen. I want to get deadheading done today. I want to get fertilizing done today. And then I have so many suckers in my garden, tree suckers from trees in my neighbor's yard, suckers from trees like the plum trees that we cut out. I have so many suckers that I need to address, and I'll show you what I use for that. Okay, and then just an update on the other babies. They're doing good. Okay, on to actual gardening. So I think I'm going to get started up here in the orchard, the Best for the West garden. And you can see like this right here, this bush. It's not a bush. It's not a plant. It's suckers. It is suckers from this tree over here. So I need to address that. I have a bunch of deadheading I need to do on the roses, on the Nyphophia, over there on the cat's pajamas Nepeta, and just kind of a bunch of cleanup stuff. And then I do want to come through and I want to fertilize everything. Update on the gophers. They absolutely demolished these three plants right here. These poor things. Is it still in here? Oh! So these were Estrelita little stars. They're supposed to do really good here, and we'll never know. And then over here in this garden bed, I have my Rise Up Emberaze rose. I need to come through and I need to deadhead. The Plain the Blue Salvia, I don't have to do anything to that. I love it. And I don't have to do anything with the Suncredible sunflowers, which I really, really enjoy. But right here, this is really where I need to work quite a bit. So I might actually get started over here. So as for supplies, it's pretty straightforward. The main thing that I need is my pruners. That's the big thing I need today. I'm going to go through and I'm going to fertilize with plant tone. And then if I'm fertilizing my roses, I will fertilize with rose tone. And then these two guys, I've showed you these guys before. So over here by my espalier, Jason and I took out roses, and we're trying to eradicate them, but they're very, very stubborn. So I will be using Stump and Vine Killer on those rose suckers because that's going to kill the whole plant. On the tree suckers, where it's my neighbor's tree and I don't want to damage the tree, I will be using Sucker Punch. This is only going to take care of the suckers, but it's going to not damage the whole tree. This will actually damage the entire plant. So you just want to make sure you know which one you have, just so that you don't kill a tree that has suckers. So yeah, I think I'll get started with deadheading and like kind of pruning and stuff like that, and then move on from there. Okay, a little bit of an update on where I'm at. I've got all the cat's pajamas Nepeta pruned up. It's sad to take off all the blooms, but look at how neat it looks. It looks so neat and tidy right now. I kind of like it as well. And then I also deadheaded most of the Orange Blaze Knifeophia. There was a lot in there. I should have gotten out here a couple weeks ago and done that, but that's okay. That's where I'm at now. And then I also did the Rise Up Embrace Rose over here. But the big thing I did is I did cut back these Suncredible sunflowers. They are huge and they were encroaching on this poor rose. So I made sure to cut those back. I probably overplanted these, which seems to be a common theme, but that's all right. They're beautiful. I love them. And I love this lush, big, overflowing look. I just have to keep on top of the pruning so that the roses don't get squished. Okay, so now that I've deadheaded this rose, this is the honey apricot rose from Proven Winners, and this rose is actually edible, which all roses are edible, but this one actually tastes good. It has a honey apricot flavor. You can sprinkle the petals on like a salad, or you can candy them and put them on ice cream or something like that. I just think it's really, really fun. I am going to have to move this rose because I didn't pay attention to the height, and it's going to start bumping into my orange tree very soon, but I'm going to wait until the end of the season once it goes dormant to move it. In the meantime, I'm going to fertilize it so I get more blooms out of it. I'm using rose tone, and I just kind of sprinkle it. I don't pay attention to it. You kind of just want to kind of go around. Vanilla from Cottage Gardens of Petaluma had really good advice. She said, make sure that you go all the way around the plant so that the roots don't kind of go off to one side, which will make a weak plant. So the only important thing is that you go all the way around. And then scratch it in and then water it in. So I'm going to be using rose tone for all my roses, and then I'll use plant tone for pretty much everything else. right, on to these suckers, these annoying suckers that grow so fast. So what you want to do first is you just want to cut everything back, because the sucker punch is going to be, you have a little paintbrush and you just paint it on. And so you want to open up all the stems. So you see, like right there, like that's where you're going to be painting on the sucker punch. Okay, so here's the stuff I'm using. Again, it's for tree sprouts and suckers. And it comes with a paintbrush like this, and all you do is you basically paint where you just cut. All right, I think that's everything. So I will definitely have to come back and do this again. It's just something that I feel like I'm just going to have to constantly be on top of, but that's okay. At least I can kind of take care of it and get a little under control. So let's go to a tree stump with suckers that I actually want to completely eradicate. So this right here is the stump of a plum tree that we cut out last year. These plum trees were slowly dying per our arborist, and so he recommended that we take them out. So we cut them, but we didn't grind the stumps out, which I kind of wish we did, but that's okay. So I'm gonna cut all these suckers back. Expose the inner layer. Cockroach. Ugh. I don't know. It's gross. All right, and this is what I'm using on this one because this is actually gonna kill the stump, which is what I want. Now, when I was living at my old property, my next door neighbor, luckily, I was so excited to have him as my neighbor, is an agronomist, which is a soil specialist. And he works with a lot of the ag industry around here. We have a lot of farmers that grow crops for food and everything like that. And so what he told me about this, don't quote me on this because I might be getting the details wrong, but the active ingredient in this, which is tricloper, they used to sell this as a spray that people would spray to eradicate weeds. Well, apparently it's so strong and there would be so much overspray that these farmers were killing their neighbors' whole crops. So basically they would spray their weeds, the wind would come, it would bring this stuff over to their neighbors, and then it would be, tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage. So that is why this stuff is sold as a paintbrush. You paint it on because it's that strong, which I think is just crazy. And I've told you all this before. At my last house, we had a wisteria, and wisteria are known to be very, very aggressive. It was a wisteria that was halfway between my property and my other neighbor's property, not the agronomist. And he had been trying for years to get rid of this wisteria. He kept cutting it back and he couldn't get rid of it. He said he used Roundup on it and all that kind of stuff, and there was nothing that he could do because it just kept growing back. And so I used this one time and it never grew back. So it definitely works. I think moral of the story is be really careful with this stuff. Know what you're doing. Don't use it on a tree, suckers that you don't want to kill the tree, because I feel like you could do serious damage with this stuff. But if you have a stump like this that's going to get grinded out eventually anyway, I think it's great stuff. It's good stuff. All right, you guys, so I am just going to continue on with my maintenance today until it gets too hot. I'm sure I'm going to be a sweaty mess by the end of the day, but that's okay. So hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.